All right. We are back. We have Woo Woo Wednesday returning with Dan Solar Marshall. Good to have you, my friend. Long time no see.
Brother, good to be on, man. Good to be on.
It's good to have you on, and been kind of neglecting the UFO UAP whole topic lately because yes, Jeremy's been taking some time off, but now we got you on, so let's get into it.
Let's do it, man.
So we're starting off, I guess, with 3i Atlas. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, we know it's not a comet from the Honolulu observatory that took video footage of it. So whoever said it was a comet's already lying. It looks to me like it's a 10-mile long by 6-mile wide battleship or aircraft carrier is what it looks like, the videos I've seen of it. And what if it parks itself in the sky and all these smaller UFOs start flying out of it? You know, that's what I hope. You know what I mean?
Right?
I mean, believe me, I want 100% proof that ET's here, and you know, I want them to land out in front of my house, and I'll go with them. That's how I feel about it. But if I had to bet on it, well, Avi Loeb's giving it a 40% chance. So, man, I don't know. I just don't know. Do you think it looks like an asteroid? I mean,
there's so much fake AI imaging out there. It's like it's tough to tell, but then from following like the real news, right? Like it's so anomalous. It's changing directions. It's changed colors 3 times. There's so much anomalous stuff. So my fingers are crossed. I'm going for giant plasma space whale with pod of youngins with it, right?
I love it. I love it, man. I love it. Even when you say AI, what they did was they took the Honolulu Observatory video and they AI enhanced it, right? But it doesn't matter because you could still see the lights going across it, which are fascinating looking.
Okay, so that one is real. That the one with like the lights going back and forth.
Yes, from the Honolulu Observatory, and it's enhanced. The unenhanced version, you can see exactly what happened. All they did was just AI just enhanced the video. Yes, it's real. I think on the 7th, you're going to be able to see it better than any other day, from what I understand. I think people over the Pacific Ocean will see it the best, if I remember correctly. I don't know. You hear so much, right? Exactly. One person says one thing, one says another. I'm waiting till it's in the sky, and then I'm going to be out looking at it with my telescope.
And it's either way, it's not your normal comet. And whether like lots of people are going with the electric universe theory too. And regardless, it's like it's the solar system, it's having effects on the sun. It seems like the sun's more active. So it's like, is it going to have, how close is it actually going to come to us? Is it going to affect our gravitational, our pull, like the ties? There's just so many questions.
Right. I agree. I thought that the story about the different elements that they could detect coming out of the thing and going back in it, coming out and going back in it, that just blew me away, because I'm like, I've never heard of that with an asteroid or a comet. Stuff flying out and then flying back in. Did you see that report?
I don't know if I did. I heard that it was like not putting out regular like CO2 or outgassing or something, and that it was like going from the front and the back. But I don't know. Right?
Yes,
Just
and instead of them saying it turned, they say it shifted. It shifted. Well, if it's in an orbit around the sun, that's impossible unless it's being controlled by something that either has a motor on it or anti-gravity, whatever you want to call it, right?
exactly, some sort of propulsion.
Yeah, to me, the most fascinating thing is the shape. It's shaped like a rectangle, pretty much. And just the size, man, 10 miles by 6 miles. Think about it, it's bigger than Manhattan, you know?
Right?
It's bigger than,
Crazy.
hey, a friend of mine wants to jump in here. Can I give him the link?
Yeah, for sure.
He's been on Jeremy's show and stuff. It's my friend Mark. He saw a massive TR3B one time.
Ooh. Oh, did we lose Dan? He'll be back. All right. While we're waiting for Dan to rejoin, we will open up a patent of the 3RB. TR3B. Oops. Come on. There we go. This guy.
The one was at Vandenberg Air Force Base, claims that when he was in the hospital there at the Air Force Base, that they came out over the ocean twice and landed 10 feet above the ground. He said it was 300 foot by 300 foot, equilateral triangle. And he described it. What he describes is exactly what Ed used to talk about, right?
Yeah, you want to go into a bit of Ed Fouché's discussions that you had firsthand with him.
Yes, hang on a second here. Let me see. The guy messaged me back with the link. Hang on. Yeah, we can definitely go into Ed.
It freezes each
Absolutely
time.
amazing. It was him and his grandmother. But yes, I met Ed 20 years ago, maybe a little longer ago than that. And if you look up Edgar Fouché, TR3B, 1998 UFO disclosure, UFO convention, whatever, Las Vegas. He does like a 2.5 hour presentation about this. No one ever heard of it before. A massive equilateral triangle with a light in each corner and then like a big round pulsing red light in the center. And Ed does this presentation in 97 and in 98. And man, all these people start seeing this thing flying around, in the sky. I mean, there's video footage over the Belgian wave. The Illinois police chased it on New Year's 2000. And they drew a perfect TR3B. They said the thing was massive. So the thing about it is, it's either us or it's them. They can't be both, in my opinion. It's either ET or us.
Right.
And
well, it seems like the TR3B is us, but there's not to say there's other things out there, but that Ed predated all the sightings, and the fact that he came out and was whistleblowing and telling you guys about it, and then all the sightings that have since happened since then.
Yeah.
Very compelling.
And Jeremy was just absolutely hooked on the science of the magnetic field disruptor, which uses a mercury-based plasma rotated about 60 to 100,000 RPMs. And I don't know the exact engineering of it, but I'll just say this. When this plasma rotation happens in this torrid, this large torrid, it could reduce the weight of the TR3B by 90%. So think about that once. Every 100,000 pounds only weighs 10,000 pounds. I think it was all nuclear powered, which was supposedly illegal to do back then during the Cold War. But if the story's true, We've had this thing since the 80s, and they're covering it all up. Everything's being covered up for either national security or other reasons. Can you think of the reasons it's covered up, Bernie? Because I have my own beliefs, but I mean, this, if it's true, this has been going on for
I
40,
think
50 years.
right, and well, it's been classified pretty much like for over 100 years since Roswell at this point. Oh, there we go. We got Mark. Welcome, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
Oh, you're muted. We can't hear you. Oh, and gone. He'll be back.
He said he was having trouble getting his story's really interesting about a TR3B. That's how him and I met. Wait till he tells that. He'll be back. He's on a phone too. That's what's wrong. You know.
Right. Well,
Oh,
sometimes phones work better, sometimes not. It's you never know. Connectivity,
right.
internet. Sometimes they seem to jam it.
Is that Sal Paez drawings?
This one might be actually. I think.
I'm pretty sure it is.
So there's. Where am I going? There we go. This guy, and this one was John Quincy St. Clair in 2006, filed December 20th, 2004.
Okay. There's another case. If you look up the name Guy Merritt, I can get him on here. I don't know if he's awake. He's one of the people that saw it over the highway in Michigan at 5 o'clock in the morning when they were all on their way to work. It was in the paper and stuff like that. And he tracked me down and we started talking. And I tried to convince him that what he saw was the U.S. government. He's like, no, man, what I saw was there's no way. He said, there's just no way. See, and my other theory is, let's say that these triangles are being seen, okay? Like it just happens that these Air Force bases are totally silent. They come down, sit in the ground for like 2 minutes, and then they're gone. But nobody can hear anything. What if they're holographic projections? You know, why are they doing them over Air Force bases? You know, what?
Great point.
And the only reason I say that is I work in a place where we make government. I'll just say we make stuff for the government. Okay. And I see what it takes to build something that's 20 feet by 60 feet. Okay. You would not believe logistics, the overhead cranes, the buildings, the size of the doors these things got to go out, just everything. And then I thought about it one night. I'm like, well, hold on a minute. Where would we build something 300 feet by 300 feet by 300 feet? And then where would we even get a door to open up to push the thing out? You know what I mean? I just have my problem is building it. You know, where would that building be? It'd have to be the size of a football stadium.
Antarctica.
That's a good one. Wouldn't that be something if it's all being made, excuse me, down there in the open in New Schwabenland or wherever Admiral Byrd went? What was the guy's name that Admiral Byrd met the ET down there?
I forget the name, right? In the inner earth, supposedly.
Man, that is one of the greatest. I hope that story's true. That story is amazing. It just is. I mean, he wrote it in his diaries.
Right.
Yes. Go ahead.
And then wasn't there like the flyover the White House shortly thereafter?
Flyover the White House is 57.
Okay, so that's like a full decade.
Yeah, that really happened too. Hold on a second here. See if this guy is coming in or not. Got to do it on Chrome.
So apparently
Google Chrome. Yeah, the 57 flyover was interesting. It really happened. I'm trying to think of what else in chronological order would be next. It would be so interesting. There's so much. We had Rendlesham Forest. That was huge. Which is one of the only cases that has evidence. Also, if you've never heard of this, this is one of the greatest UFO sightings ever in Texas in the 80s. If you look up the Cash Landrum incident, that's when this giant diamond shaped UFO appeared over the highway, and these women were sitting there, and they said 25 Chinook helicopters. They had the double rotors, so they count them. 25 Chinook helicopters are following this thing, right? And these women got down like under the dashboard of the car because it was so hot and their vehicle stalled. And the next day, their hair started falling out, their faces swelled up. Well, here, man, when they went to hospital. Yeah, when they went to hospital, they had radiation burns all over them. The one died within like 6 months. Yeah, Betty Cash and Vicky Landrum. If you type in the Cash Landrum incident, they'll show the pictures and all that. It was on Unsolved Mysteries in the 80s. Here's what's interesting. The government came out and removed the part of the road that the UFO flew over, not once, not twice, but 3 times, right where it flew over. All the trees died. It's a case where there's evidence. There was a grandson in the car. His name was Colby. Me and Michael Schratt tried to get a hold of me. Don't respond to us. Where he put his hand on the dashboard, his hand melted right through the dashboard and his fingerprints were on it. Then the Air Force claimed no responsibility, but wanted to buy the car. They wouldn't let the lady alone about buying the car, wanting the car, wanting the evidence.
Wow.
It's one of the most incredible UFO sightings ever. But what we were told happened was, this is what, oh man, what's that guy's name? Richard Dolan. Richard Dolan claims that it was a UFO that wrecked, and they couldn't figure out the power source, so they threw a nuclear powered engine on it to try and fly it, which to me don't really make any sense. But
hey, like, can anybody see or hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Oh,
Welcome.
cool. Okay, cool.
You loser. What's going on, Mark?
Hey, it was Mark Loser's day off. Look,
How did you find me, man? We were only on a minute, and there you were. Were you watching this?
And I kept trying to get on, and I kept getting denied. It was like long story short, man, it was difficult, but that Cash Landrum incident was really weird because Michael Schratt said it was like an ice cream cone that was upside down. And Richard Doty, I think you might have it confused. I don't think it was Richard Dolan. I think it was Richard Doty ran the counterintelligence on that whole story.
Yeah, but Richard Dolan wrote about the story itself. That's where I was getting that from. Richard Doty, yeah, he runs counterintelligence on everything still probably to this day.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you know anything, tell what you know about the story. Do you remember seeing Colby, Vicky Landrum, and Betty Cash after that happened? And Betty Cash had all those sores all over her body. Her hair was falling out. She's like 40-some years old. Her skin got like really hard. She had cancer all over her entire body. She didn't last long, and then her mother died too.
Yeah, so the only thing I remember is I think the Air Force came in and had to repave the entire road where they had witnessed this craft. And
3 times. They did it 3 times.
No kidding.
They dug the road up, put it in special dump trucks, drove it off, and it's just this like 30-foot long piece of road.
Like 9/11 there almost, eh?
Hey,
a little bit.
You nailed it. I mean, it's the classification of that craft is probably way higher than 9/11. Think about it. If it's ours, which it was, remember she talked about the 25 Chinook helicopters following it?
I mean, you got to imagine that's
insane.
That's some serious air power right there.
Because I said
holy
to Michael,
cow.
I said, where in the hell would we get 25 Chinooks in the middle of Texas? He showed me on Google Earth. You know, you have Yuma, Arizona. You have all these bases in Texas. Yeah, I think that happened in 83.
You'd almost need the Phoenix Lights to lift that thing out of there.
Yes. Yes, you do.
You know?
That's another thing. It was really low to the ground. It never went way high up in the air. It was very low to the ground, and it obviously burnt that road. You know, must have been radiation there. So that's why they removed the road. I can't believe you never heard about this, Bernie.
So the commonplace, or I think the common attributes is you have a magnetic interference, you have radio shutting down, electronics shutting down.
Yeah.
I personally believe I witnessed a TR3B back in, I think it was 97 or 98, somewhere in 97. My mother and I, man, she had a brand new Honda Civic, and it was one of the first cars with a sunroof. I look up, I see this big black, literally just a big black shadow, triangle, broad daylight, a little interference. Now that I know, I still have to ask my mom, hey, did that really happen? She's like, yeah.
You telling me that.
It literally, there's time dilation with whatever propulsion device that is. There is definitely time dilation.
And you said it sat there and just didn't move.
Not at all.
It was just shocking. You told me it was so large, right? It was huge.
Yeah, and I believe you had connected me, Dan, with a guy named Guy.
Guy Merritt.
Yeah, and I think he had a very similar interaction.
Well, he has a YouTube channel. It's under Guy Merritt. And if you go to his YouTube channel, he explains the entire story in great detail over 3 parts. It's really interesting to hear. He saw exactly what you did, a black triangle. His was at 5 a.m. on his way to one of the auto plants. He was working there at the time, and a woman had missing time. And there's been a lot of stuff that's happened to him since then with blue lights. And I just think that some people are chosen to see this stuff and others look for it all their lives and never see anything.
I agree. And then, you look at somebody like Jack Sarfati, right? So, and I know Jack, he's definitely very smart, but, he's always claimed that he's had some sort of, connection from the future. I don't know. Maybe these beings are people from the future, and they connect, are trying to connect with individuals from the past to figure out certain things or whatever, or be in contact with smart individuals. I don't know, but it's there's too many common interactions, I feel like, that I think we might be overlooking. Like, okay, if they are extraterrestrial, that's one thing, but I think they're probably future human time travelers. That's really what I think it is.
Well, I used to say that to Jeremy.
And Jeremy refuses to agree with that, and that's whatever.
Right.
But
well, here's my argument with why it could be. Okay, I can name 10 cases right now where the people that saw the UFOs and had encounters with what you would call ETs said these people were absolutely built perfect. They had perfect hair, they had perfect skin, they had perfect eyes. Everything about them was perfect. Not any fat. Like what people right now, as we're sitting here, are scribing for is, oh, I'm going to put Botox in my forehead.
So what you're saying is me, you, and Bernie are out.
Yeah, we're out. But what I'm saying is, people strive for appearance perfection. I don't. I'm wintered out right now with my thick beard and stuff.
For sure.
But genetically, people want to look perfect, right? When in the future, that would be really easy. You understand?
Oh yeah.
So what if we're looking at perfect human beings from the future that can live 700 years, maybe 1,000, and they figured out what they would. Here's what I think they would do, Bernie. They would come back here go into our oceans, because we're dead if plankton doesn't survive. Make sure that we stay alive so they can live in the future. I know it sounds crazy. They may have come back and stopped World War III 20 times. We would never know because they manipulate time. All this stuff, time is manipulated. People lose 4 hours here, 5 hours there. How do we all know that we're not all losing like 100 hours at a time? We would never know if these people can manipulate time. So future human theory, it's really interesting one. Once you crawl down the rabbit hole, it starts to make sense.
That does, especially when you hear all the cases of them appearing above like the nuclear sites and intervening with the H bomb and whatnot. That that would make a lot of sense of the future human making sure that we don't blow ourselves up so that they still exist.
And you nailed it.
I think that's where the interaction comes in. I think their involvement, whether it's ET, or it is future humans, whatever. They're trying to look at, okay, how they developed this tech, number one, and number two, how do we stop it from completely destroying the human species?
Exactly.
So that's really probably what it is. And who knows, man? I mean, and then you look at alternate universe theory. Who knows, man? Maybe there's an alternate universe where me, you, Bernie, and Jeremy Reese are all flying in a TR-3B.
That's just future this universe, okay? Future this universe.
My nephew claims now twice he's seen a TR-3B, and he's pretty smart, man. And I went over him 20 years ago. I showed him how to tell something was a plane and all this stuff. And he claimed this would be up around what's called 3 Mile Island, where he's seen it. You know what 3 Mile Island is?
Yeah,
that's where the nuclear accident in 1979.
There was a meltdown nuclear.
30 miles up the road. And there's always been UFO sightings up there, and that's a nuclear power plant. When speaking of nukes, what if they're just sucking nuclear power out of different places to, I don't know, to run something in their craft? I mean,
well, that goes back to this 31 Atlas. It goes by the sun, and then who knows? Is it extracting something? Is it extracting something so that it can alter its course? Maybe.
What do you think? What's your thoughts on 3I Atlas?
I think it's basically a fucking rock. But it's all look. It's all too convenient. The government shut down. NASA doesn't want to release anything.
They say they can't because of the government being shut down. Which
that's the biggest bunch of bullshit I've ever heard. So it could be something, man. I really don't know. I really don't.
The conspiracy in me thinks that the government shutdown's a conspiracy to cover up what 3I Atlas really is.
Yeah, it could be.
Only time is gonna tell, but my money's still on space whale. I want a space whale.
We're going to know here really soon because every observatory is going to be able to see it here on the 7th.
What was the case or the scenario back? I think it was probably about 3 or 4 years ago. The FBI had seized like 8 out of the 9 observatories, and the ninth one they couldn't control. It ended up being something about child porn and all this and that. And I wonder if that observatory didn't have an eye on this thing back then. Yeah, that could very well be the case. So it'd be interesting to know.
That whole story stunk. Remember, they shut that whole mountain down. They shut the entire county down because some guy had porn on his computer. Bullshit.
Yeah,
they shut everything down so nobody could go in there, turn it on, and look up and say, "Oh my God, look! There's a gigantic spaceship heading here that's 10 freaking miles by 6 miles, and there's UFOs flying in and out of it." There's something
during the time of Oumuamua that one was.
Yep. Yeah. Same exact time. The thing is, man, You have Avi Loeb talking about it. He gives it a 40% chance. Maybe he's up to 50 now. That's an alien ship, right?
I think Avi Loeb is anyway.
Well,
Whatever.
he's famous. I like Michio Kaku personally. Okay,
Me too.
if I trusted anybody, I'd trust his little ass.
Hey,
But
I want to put my Michio Kaku in some chick, and then when I get finished, I want to say Oumuamua.
that's why I love. This is why I love late night UFO shows, because we can talk a little more shit. You know,
Anything goes.
You know what I mean? Do we have any haters in the chat? I haven't even looked.
No, not at all. Someone's asking for a probe now, right? So it's gonna probe around Uranus. You never know. Right?
I love the format of this show. Bernie will just get a hold of me and be like, "Hey, dude, you want to do some UFO talks? Hell yeah, man!"
You know what I like over this, and I'm not hating on Jeremy at all, but Bernie is a little more loose when it comes to saying how you really feel. You feel a little more comfortable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, you want to know something about Jeremy? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just saying, you got to be open-minded, and only time will tell. But you have to let people genuinely express their experiences, and you can't shut someone down ahead of time, or they're not going to give you everything that they went through or all the details.
Jeremy does not like being proven wrong, or he's always the smartest guy in the room. He's got that one-way mentality. I can't really come up with a word for it, and he'll control the show more, a lot more too. Bernie's just goes with the flow, tells you exactly what he thinks, stuff like that. That's why I like coming on here. I'm kind of the same way. If I think Bob Lazar's a fraud, I'll tell you right on here he's a fraud. You know what I mean? I don't hesitate to say my mind.
Oh God, here we go. Hey, I'm going to be late to work tomorrow because I already know what's going to happen.
3 rules: no Bob Lazar, no Bob Lazar, no Bob Lazar. Man, I don't want to have to get into explaining his story for 7 hours. You know what I mean?
It's like, if you haven't looked into it or heard it yet, there's a whole channel called Alien Scientists that
BobLazarDebunk.com.
Exactly.
We put that together. Yeah.
Who was the who made the site where it was basically, I don't want to say discrediting, but it was basically like, making all the facts about Bob and what had really happened?
Oh, you're talking about years ago. You're talking about the. Oh man, what is his
name? Excuse my language.
He's a really hard guy to get a hold of, man, big time.
Yeah, has anybody heard from him?
Yeah, he's alive.
Okay.
Remember, he's the one that came up with the theory that he thought Bob saw a plasma weapon go across the sky and all that stuff. He's the one that researched his marriages and all that stuff. God, why can't I remember his name?
I know. He made a whole page, but that guy, that guy really had done his homework. So I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, all right, okay, Bob could be who he is. He could be exactly who he says he is. But at the same token, he could have lied this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Bob never made any move to, gain anything. So really, what is Bob's end game? I still think I've got like a 20% reserve that Bob is still legit. I really do.
Well, listen,
I believe Bob believes what he was told, but he was used as a counterintelligence. That's what I believe.
I believe that Gene Huff at Bob's whorehouse,
Tried Out Productions was really that was really the catalyst for me to be like, all right, they're full of shit.
Hold on a minute here. Let me finish this part.
Okay.
I believe that Bob Lazar and Gene Huff were at the Hoe House, and John Lear loved hoes. John Lear was a good friend of mine. I think that John Lear went in the
Goddamn hoes.
whorehouse, and I believe that's where he met Gene Huff and Bob Lazar, because they got into UFOs and stuff like that around 88 or so. But what's interesting is in 1987, John Lear went on what's called On the Record with George Knapp. You can look it up right now. And on that show, John Lear said there were 13 alien spaceships up at Area 51. 2 of them were operational. So 2 years later, Bob comes out with almost the same story. I am 100% convinced that those 3 collaborated on the story. I don't think that one guy put all that money into making a video about, or a new movie about Bob, and they were going to play it in the Globe out there in Las Vegas. I heard there's financial issues. I don't know that for sure, but I know they spent millions already, you know?
Yeah, I think it was like 1.5. Okay, so what you're saying is in 87,
yeah,
they already knew whatever was going on, and then 89, Bob collaborates this story and then goes public with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Dude, I'm friends with Gene Huff. You know, I talked to him.
Well, I think that's where your answer lies, personally.
Yeah, I know that there's no base at Papoose Lake. There's never been anything there. You find me one pilot that was a test pilot at Groom that ever flew over anything like that in the 80s or the 90s. We have the satellite images from the SALT treaties. They don't show any base there. It was radioactive because Jerry Freeman, if you remember, walked across Papoose Lake, slept there 2 nights, and he said he never saw any black SEALs. Remember, he said there were black Navy SEALs that would come out and attack you and shoot you. No security. So hang on a minute here. You're telling me there's a damn UFO base there, okay, at Papoose Lake, but their security there they don't care if you show up. You're allowed to show up there, but if you show up to Area 51, they'll kill you. Well, Bob always said that the people at Area 51 didn't have the clearance to go to S4 Papoose Lake. So why did they not grab Jerry Freeman? And you can look Jerry Freeman's story up, his picture and everything, in 1993 when he went across Papoose Lake. Jerry Freeman subsequently got cancer from the fucking radiation that leaked over from 6 miles over from where they tested all the atomic weapons. Right next door, you can get on Google Earth and see all this stuff.
Yeah.
Jerry Freeman's the one that 100% convinced me that there's no way there was a base there. There's just no way. He has pictures, and in the background, you can see right where the mountains are, where Bob's hangar's supposed to be. You know, and he drew 3 different or 4 different drawings of hangars, and, you know, eventually it blended into the mountain.
What's also weird to me, though, is, there's parallels with Dan Burris, too, right? So,
yeah.
I don't know. I think Dan might have been crazy, but I also, in some weird facet, I almost feel like he might have actually been legit. The guy definitely had, some intellectual ideas and definitely was involved in something. So, but Bob and Dan's testimonies are so different.
Yeah.
So it's like, do you merge them together? What do you do? I think that's why Schratt did all those CAD designs for Dan back in the day. I think he did something UFO Congress 2011, whatever.
Remember, there was the red line to walk on, the blue line to walk on.
I call bullshit on all that.
I do too.
I call bullshit. But, but what really, maybe Dan was trying to make it more serious than it really was so he could gain credibility. I personally think Dan Burris was there.
It's possible.
I really do.
It's very possible, man. Him and Marcia McDowell. I used to talk to him all the time. I was on his Eagles Disobey website. And I'll just say this, and I wish my nephew was here. Dan Burris around 2012 either had the best sound machine that money could buy with making noises and stuff, saying he was at McCarran Airport and got on this private helicopter and went up to Area 51, or he really went up there. So it was either a sound machine or he really went up there. He had called me on the phone and said, "Hey, I want you to listen to this." And then after he went to McCarran Terminal, they announced his name. He goes, "Dan, I got to put the phone in my pocket real quick." Puts the phone in his pocket. I hear a security guard like asking him all these questions. And then the next thing you know, man, he's walking over and you can hear a helicopter. He gets on this helicopter. I mean, it was incredible if it was a sound machine. And this was 2012. They had stuff like that. He probably could have did it with a computer, but it was really interesting, man. I was like, my nephew was like, "Man, I think he went to Area 51. I said, "Dude, I don't know what that was." I said, "But that sure as hell sounded real."
Bernie, what is your outside thought on that whole conversation? Because you've got a very good understanding of what possibly goes on there. What do you think?
It's fascinating, and it's like that's either a high level like counterintelligence that would run that, or it sounds real. Like, it's your experience with that call, Dad. It's like you got to know the guy a bit. Like,
Yeah, I knew him pretty well.
Well, and what did he always say? Well, they play Neil Diamond on the plane and this and that, and coming to America. Well, that's all bullshit.
Well,
so that's
yeah. I mean, I think that was just filling. I think he was trying to get. He was trying to be charismatic or something, or relate to people that are in their car that like listen to soft rock or something. I don't know. There's so many interesting stories out of Area 51. Have you seen the guys that went down to Congress that were at Area 51? Some of them 30 years, and they have all these crazy cancers.
Oh, yeah.
The one guy, he has left brain atrophy, which means his brain's dying. All these guys, right, Bernie, when you file a Freedom of Information Act on them, it comes back and says data masked, right? And then that way, that tells the people that send the FOIAs back and stuff like that, they send it back and say, "We can't find any information on these people." So these people can't sue or even collect benefits.
That's wild.
And there was like 15 or 20 of them down there. It was this summer. I watched the whole thing. It was sad. All of them have symptoms of radiation sickness because, once again, you have the nuclear test site 6 miles away that was launching bombs, and there's fallout everywhere. These poor guys can't get medical treatment, and it's disgusting. It really is. And these guys are probably all over 60 now. They have their grandchildren are deformed, have deformities and stuff, and they all have real similar cancers. The one guy has no jaw. It's just unbelievable what you see. It begs the question: all these UFOs are seen out there. Well, guess what? There's a nuclear test site next door. If aliens are connected to our nuclear technology, then maybe they're more interested in Nevada test site than Area 51. Do you know what I'm saying?
All right. Absolutely. And making sure that we don't do more, but apparently Trump is saying they're going to test more nukes. So
we're testing more nukes, and I guarantee you it's this.
Find out.
I guarantee you that the official statement on 3i Atlas is, we don't know what the fuck it is.
Mm-hmm.
We shut the government down because we don't know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Test nukes. That's going to be, if I was Trump, I'd be like, yeah, we're going to test nukes because these motherfuckers need to get scared if they're going to get close in proximity of us. And then I'm telling you, 3i Atlas, dude, nobody knows what the fuck it is. They don't.
No, they don't. And it's ridiculous. Hey, how's it going, Paul Keen Music? it's ridiculous that they called it a comet so early on. It's not a comet. There's no tail. It's not a gas giant. There's nothing on that thing that looks like a comet. Nothing, man. And I think it's fascinating.
Color, like it's changed its color 3 times. Like, how does that happen?
It's changed its direction twice. Yeah, exactly. How's it change colors?
Have you guys ever seen True Lies when he's like, I know what this is. It's a snow cone maker.
Yes.
Is it a water heater? I mean, that's really how I feel the government is treating this thing.
Is it lime flavored? Is it watermelon flavored? Is it blue raspberry flavored now, apparently?
Dude, they were going to send Chuck Norris up there and put him on 3i Atlas. And have
shit.
At 87 years old, they were going to send him up there.
Hey, the Chuck Norris nuke, dude. Don't worry about it, dude. We're going to send him up real quick. It'll be all right.
God, man. There's Julie. Is she on?
Dan, I missed you.
Hey, I missed you too.
How are you?
I'm doing okay. How are you doing?
Good. It was just my birthday a few weeks ago.
I wish I'd have been out there. We went out partying.
Oh, I had a big party. You guys would have had fun. You guys would have had a blast.
I guarantee I'd had a blast. We were just talking about your buddy. Did you hear it?
Who?
Dan Burrish. You love Dan Burrish.
I love Dan.
Hey, what do you know about Dan? Let's hear it.
Well, I just there's things that he said that really got to me. And what's interesting is that where he had that happen to him when he was in Lakewood, California, playing baseball as a child. What was he, 9? And
yes, his first UFO sighting.
His first UFO, and he said he stopped, and it's like really close to my grandmother's house, and where he said he worked at that hospital too, right?
Yeah,
in Lakewood, and but I was just always drawn to a lot of the information, like the interview where it's like harsh lighting. It looks like it took place in the 70s, but it wasn't the 70s.
Yes,
that heart. I loved everything he said about that, and found it just.
I love the story.
Yeah,
what's that?
The story. And
the J-Rod.
But
it's so detailed, and he's repeated it so many times. My whole thing was either he's some kind of genius, or I mean, they can memorize something and not fuck up if he's lying, or it really maybe it really happened.
And he called you, right? And you're like, you thought it was, you're like, I don't know if he had some kind of sound effects.
Yeah, see, she remembers that when he went and got on that helicopter and he was at the Groom terminal or the McCarran terminal.
Yeah.
And I was shocked by it. My nephew sat there and listened to the whole call. I was just like, what just happened, man? What happened here? Did I just listen to Dan Burrish go to Area 51? It was really strange. I felt it was real. I really did. I really felt it was real.
There you go. It had to be. It has to be.
When was the last known contact of anyone that knows Dan Burrish? Like, how long ago?
Michael Schratt and I were talking about that. It's been years. He hasn't said anything about UFOs for years.
Who was the one? Somebody told me that he is that he's in Henderson, California. I mean, Henderson, Nevada.
Yes, that's where it is.
That he's out there and that he is alive. And this was sometime in the last 6 months. And was it Carrie Cassidy? I don't remember. I don't remember.
He's still in Henderson. I do know this. He's had a number of heart surgeries, and I think that's why he got off the UFO circuit. I'm talking about heart surgeries where he could have died very easy, like open heart, 3 times, I think. So I think that's why he got out. If you go to Dr. Marcia McDowell, you might see some stuff with her on there. And the last video I seen of Dan, he had aged a lot, So I haven't seen them say anything about J-Rod's UFOs, S4, or anything like that.
So we have to go interview him in person.
So we're going to Henderson.
That
We're
would be
going to
great.
Henderson.
Can you imagine how epic that trip would be?
Dude, let's go. I'm
We're
down.
doing it. Right?
We'll go kidnap Dan and take him in a bar and give him some truth serum and say, dude, what really happened, man?
Is it scopolamine? Is that what is the true serum?
What's that?
Alcohol.
That scopolamine?
I've never drank that before. That's what's in that.
I get it confused with the one that can poison you too, so I might be wrong.
Triple sec or whatever it's called. Any booze will poison you if you drink enough of it. Trust me. I've done that.
Right?
They pump coal in your stomach.
Whiskey. Exactly. Whiskey, that's all.
Yeah, oh God. I have moonshine in my fridge, man.
I remember trying moonshine and I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. I went to Annapolis.
Yeah.
And they busted out blue crabs and they taught me like how to eat the blue crabs and prepare it, and they busted out moonshine. I'm like, this is the coolest thing ever.
It is. You're not supposed to like drink it. You're supposed to let it like pour on your tongue and then soak into your tongue. And then you do it again and again and again. And sooner or later you're so drunk that you start getting cross-eyed and can't walk. You know, it gets in your system quick.
And then you do a black light report in the morning, and then you're really fucked.
Yeah, it's pretty popular around here. I'm in PA. It's pretty popular. People love it.
So you guys were talking about the 3A or Atlas. You know, I went to a Halloween party like last weekend, and it was at the cousin brother's house, and they brought up a thing.
Was Michael Schratt there?
Oh my God.
Okay.
No, but he mentioned something that I hadn't heard before, and it was really brief, but it was that this is the third time it's entered, like the third time it's happened. I never heard that anywhere else.
No, I haven't either. Have you seen any of the remote viewing on it?
No. What they
get? Do you do remote viewing?
Yeah.
I thought you did. Yeah. They claim it's a ship, an alien ship. Is what every single one of them I said.
Who's the remote viewer?
Oh man,
I look for accurate ones that you know. Yeah.
I know, but I knew a remote viewer, and he was friends with Pat Price. They remote viewed together. I don't know if you ever heard who he was. And Pat Price was a retired police detective.
Oh, Pat Price is like one of the best.
Yes.
He was murdered.
Yeah. My buddy who just died and stuff like that, he'd be sitting here. Pat Price would be here, and Colonel, oh man, I can't remember his name. But anyways, listen, Pat Price is the one that said, look, he goes, you people want me to remote view stuff in Russia or whatever here and there. He goes, I keep getting attracted to this place called Mount Hayes in Alaska. He said, there's an alien base there. He said, there's an alien base. If you want to look into something, look up Mount Hayes, Alaska, and alien base. It's fascinating. There's all kinds of videos of UFOs, like going past the peak of the mountain, then dropping straight down. I think there's possibly something there. It's like be the greatest remote place ever. You're never going to have any people that are going to bother you like at Area 51, you know. I also like the Charles Hall and the Tall White story. I don't care.
Dan.
I don't care if it's true or not. I love that story.
Real quick. Hey, Dan, real quick. Where do you think the X-47 was developed? Because they want to make 500 of those.
It's a Northrop. So it's a
Grumman. So they're going to do that where? In Tonopah?
No, they'll do that in California.
Okay.
They'll test it probably. I heard it's been tested for 5 years now, and then other people are like, oh, they haven't tested it yet. I'm like, man, if they say they haven't tested it, they've tested it. I'm told that it's the metal. It's all metamaterials, right? So you have no vertical stabilizers, but guess what? That you can see. But when the thing's running, you know, the metal can bend supposedly and turn into a vertical stabilizer and go straight again.
See,
if that's true, If that's true, man,
Wait,
then
which metal are you talking about?
they're talking about metamaterials, which is a combination like ceramic and metal and all this stuff, and it supposedly can bend and be manipulated and all this stuff. And that's supposedly what our UFOs are made out of and stuff, like a TR-3B.
Wait, didn't what's his name? Tim Ventura get like a sample of a rare one, and Linda Moulton Howe.
Yeah,
and having
yeah.
it tested.
That's Art's parts from that traces back chain of custody as a sample of the Roswell crash that Art Bell got, that gave to Linda Moulton Howe, and then Jared Yates was the one with Apex that was looking at it under the electron microscope.
And
wow, I don't know anything about it.
Hey, look, Jared Yates knows everything about a TR-3B, number one. Number two, Jared Yates is a really smart dude. Look, you can trust anything that dude says.
What?
Well, Tim
Are you being
Ventura
sarcastic?
honest
Are you
too.
being sarcastic, Mark?
No, I'm being dead serious.
Okay, I couldn't read that.
No, I'm being dead serious.
Okay.
He's being truthful. Mark saw a TR-3B. That's how him and I met.
Oh wow! You know what I think is some of the for me it was huge of like something I felt was when Bob Lazar would discuss that he had heard that these ships, these crafts, were excavated. They were ancient archaeological, and that's how they truly got them.
Yeah, he came out with that later on. He says he must have forgot about it at the time or something like that. He was told. If
they buried my midsection out in the desert a long time ago, and then they resurrected it, and and they just said it was big and it was huge.
Well, imagine this. Imagine if you're in like 1700 or 1800, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're walking your wagon along with your horses, and you look over and there's this perfect round alien spaceship sticking out of the ground. What would you do? What would you do? Who would you call? Or telegraph, I should say. What would you do?
I'd do the same thing I do today, and I would try to fly it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
they painted a lot of them back in the 18th or 6th throughout history. Really,
what I found
all over.
What I found interesting too is the fact that when I spoke to somebody that said they touched one in a private military like sector or whatever, and they said it was alive. They said, Julia, it was alive. I touched it and it didn't want to be there. And
it's like its skin, right?
Yes, he was saying it's conscious. Like, and what I was shown with like some pretty profound remote viewing things, and was that this sector of group that's like has access to deep inside the earth, that they grow it and like that they raise it, but that there's like this higher consciousness, there's this process. And I was trying to understand, and they're visually showing me things, and like it was like, imagine, and this sounds, maybe you'll get it, whatever. But it was like trying to, because at first it was just too advanced. I didn't understand it of how it was trying to show me. And then and then it like broke it down like retard status, like where my God was like talking to a dog, and it was like a dragon, and like showing like the beginning signs of like when a baby is being formed and developed. And so it was like, yeah, like there's like a consciousness. It's like raising and implementing that, and it becomes this machine that can fly. And I just like I just can't, to this day. I could slightly grasp it, but I'm not that advanced.
So the egg UFO is real, and it's how you train your dragon UAP.
And you know how they say there's certain people, and I always felt like it had something to do with their DNA, that they look for to pilot these things. I feel like there must be some ships that are the incredibly advanced ones that not everyone can pilot them. So it must be running on this like biological computer system that certain ones. Yes.
Yeah, that's an interesting theory. Yep. What about this one? I'm going to throw something out at you. The Tic Tac, the Nimitz incident off the coast of California, right? Mm-hmm. What if think about this once. I never heard anybody say this. What if that Tic Tac, because the way it was jumping in and out of the ocean and doing all that weird stuff, what if it's a life form?
Right.
What if it's something that's alive, right? Like kind of like you were saying, what if the Tic Tacs are actually a life form that we just don't understand and never seen yet? And it's
Right.
not extraterrestrial, it's from the bottom of the ocean.
Just like a
Right.
plasma orb, like ball lightning.
And
Yeah.
if that's what happens to our, I mean, we're basically have this understanding that we're, you know, there's plasma beings, like we have this skin suit here, but we're
Mhm.
something else that can probably morph and enter different dimensions. Like, is that so crazy? Like, you graduate to a level where you could do that shit?
Yeah, well, just think
But-
about it. Just because we're carbon based doesn't mean another life form can't be silicon based.
Well, I feel like I've always felt,
Plasma.
I know it sounds crazy, is that
Mhm.
we used to be silicone based, like silica based, and that's why things were much larger here. And like the
Mhm.
whole vapor canopy theory, like things were bigger everywhere because, and
There was
like
a lot
we
more
switched
oxygen.
over, you're right, and we switched over to carbon based for some
Mhm.
odd reason.
That is really weird. That's beyond weird.
But yeah, like the whole idea, it's also very interesting that when you look in and around Catalina, it's like a hot spot. I mean, the USOs of them coming out of the water, all these different accounts for so many years. And I'm always like, you guys, you want to see activity, you don't got to go to Sedona or here or there. Go to Catalina. Look in and around Catalina.
The
And
U.S. Navy is so used to it, they're immune to it. They don't even look at them anymore.
but what they do is they hover over certain spots. It's almost like they're gassing up etherically. I'm like, what are they doing right there?
There's a giant
Why?
ship down in the water.
Oh, what?
I think there's a giant ship down in the water that they come off of.
Or a base.
That's my opinion. And
Or
when I
they're
say that,
extracting. It seems to be some type of extraction going on. And
that
I'm
could
always like,
be,
what is it? What are
that
they
could
extracting? Is there
be.
something in the algae and the this? Is it something that they eat, or is it? I don't know. Maybe it's not to fly the crap. It's something else. I don't
Maybe
know.
it's the opposite. Maybe they're seeding life in the sea.
Mm.
Maybe they've been doing that all along and they actually are our future humans.
Well, I just get that. That's some of the most guarded information is that there's an advanced civilization inside the Earth.
Yeah.
And that's why it matters what happens at surface Earth, you know?
Mhm.
Like
That's why they
there's
inspect the
certain
new.
things that you can do here and you can't do.
Yeah, imagine they have meetings with all the people living the inner earth and go, and they point up the sky and go, those assholes are going to kill all of us when the nukes start being tested.
Not only that, but when you get to a point where you're so telepathic and you know what everyone is thinking
Yeah.
telepathically, imagine how painful that is walking around surface Earth,
Mhm.
listening to
I have
these
a migraine
horrible thoughts.
constantly. Just kidding.
Listening to these horrible thoughts and like, oh wow, I mean, just it's unbearable. Like, and so to come up here and know what a lot of people are thinking, I'd be like, I gotta get out of here.
Oh, it's terrible. All they'd have to do is watch Netflix for an hour. I'll be back in like 2 minutes.
Okay. Just as I was about to be like, I'm sneaking out for a smoke, but no, I'm staying here. All right. Yeah, so that's an interesting theory Dan had with the Tic Tacs of them being conscious and alive force. In that, when I talked to Kevin Day from during APEC, he was the Nimitz radar operator, and he like swears like to his life up and down like that it changed his life having this telekinetic experiences during the Nimitz encounters. And I've often wondered, it's like debated whether like they were genuine or whether it was, if it was a like test operation of new technology on the Navy, that were they also then using the to voice to bone or voice to skull, sorry, I think it's called, technology of implanting those thoughts. I don't know.
So did Mark leave? Because I wanted to ask him if he had any type of heightened intuition or things after his sighting. But is he gone?
Oh, I think hopefully he returns. Was it Mark that said he would be right back, or it was
It
Dan?
says for
Because Dan is muted. Mark did leave. Hopefully he returns.
well, so much for asking that question.
Right? Shit.
Well, I guess he would have answered it before he left, knowing I was gonna be asking it.
Yeah, that's weird. It just dropped off, but it was Dan that said he would be right back. Well, hopefully he comes back. He was having some connection issue, but so maybe his phone died. I'm not sure. Not sure. Yeah, it's most of my personal experiences I've had telekinetic related with when I've had like a CE5 experience or two, but not really too comfortable talking about it publicly yet.
You should write a book, Bernie.
I know. I'm supposed to write a few. I got to. First one on alchemy, though. See, once I get the science out, because that's already crazy enough, I have to publish my science first, then I can go full woo-woo on everything else. But I don't know. Maybe I should just start with going after the cryptids. Yeah.
There we go.
We lost Mark.
What happened?
I had a question for him too, and when I went to ask him, I was like, he's gone.
His phone might have dropped. He had a lot of trouble getting in. Hold on, I think he just messaged me. Come back, dude.
Right, come back. Need to hear the full story.
You know. Yeah, I wanted to see what you were going to say, Julie, about 3i Atlas because of your remote viewing stuff. And I'm optimistic that it's aliens, man. I know my belief is it's not, but wouldn't that be great if that sucker parked right up in the sky, 10 miles by 6 miles wide, and all these alien ships just started flying out at land, and the people were real nice, and the ETs, whatever you want to call them. That would be great because that would be confirmation. We wouldn't have to worry about this bullshit down in Congress going on right now. I want disclosure to happen.
Right?
I really want it to happen. And this is
I hope and pray if it's aliens that it's that and not like Starship Troopers and just asteroids sent by aliens that's changing course to hit us.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think too, if what's able to enter this place,
right?
And from where, if we don't even know where we're at and what's able to enter, what's above us, what's below us, how can we make that assessment?
And that Voyager 2, I think it is, or whatever, like that it's been repeatedly reported of this giant flame wall at the outer edge of our solar system. So if that's accurate, how the hell are things getting through and getting in?
Exactly.
Wow, I didn't know that one. That's new.
Yeah, it's like 70,000 or 700,000 degrees. It's insane. It's crazy.
If you think about Independence Day, right, the ship would probably be relatively similar in size. You know, the ones that go above the horizon up there. I'm so crazy about this stuff that if people would start freaking out saying, "Oh my God, there's an alien ship in the sky the size of Manhattan," I'd run out and beg them to beam me up to it. I mean, I would just love to be in it, fly in it. You know, some people might think I'm nuts. How would you two feel about that? Would you do the same?
Oh,
you would, Bernie. Hell yeah. Julia'd be in there.
There's time. Would you say I'd leave him there?
No, you'd go up in there. You'd go in
Oh
the
yeah,
old ship.
there's times where it's so weird because it's like maybe another part of me that I don't know where I'll see these ships in and around Catalina, and it's like this thought. I'm like, damn it, you guys, like come get. You know what I'm saying? Like where you
Yeah.
know, like
wanna
thanks a lot.
leave.
You know, like I could use a little help down here. This place is bullshit.
Dude,
Like it's
you
just
got to start filming this stuff. I want to see it.
oh man. I
You-
used to. I stopped doing it. I stopped filming it in like 2017.
Did you see Tic Tacs?
Oh god, I saw all kinds of stuff. But just think where that Tic Tac sighting is probably what 38 miles away from the area I was
Yeah,
viewing.
it's 60 miles off of San Diego coast there.
Right. So I mean
60
from
miles.
Catalina because it was kind of more like it wasn't super close to the shoreline, right? Like it was
Mhm.
and yeah, so it'd be about I don't know 40 miles from the site. I was I seen a lot of
Mhm.
stuff.
Catalina Island was always one of the UFO meccas. And that goes way back before this 2004 Nimitz thing. It goes back many, many years.
Yeah, what do you know about it? Because there's a lot of ancient history right there, and I love that. I mean, it may seem a little fantastical and mythological, but I love the thought of that they spoke of a like an ancient portal right there. That's why the giant like there was these actual like
giants, right?
blonde haired, blue eyed giants. They weren't just any. They weren't redheaded giants. They were mainly blonde, blue eyed giants that were their bones that Ralph Giddens dug up on Catalina Island.
Wow.
That they guarded that portal that Catalina sits on a portal. I don't know if it's right on top. I feel like it's in and around that area. And I think that's why Toyin Bay was such a hot commodity, like a hot spot for remote viewers. And I have not viewed that, but it's definitely on my list. And
So we're renting a boat and going out.
so I
and
found
remote viewing it.
there's this one
Kevin
guy
Day
that
does it. The one guy that was on the Nimitz. He has a boat, and he'll take you out there and tell you exactly what he saw. He saw him, and he was a sonar operator, man. You ever seen Kevin Day's testimony about the Nimitz?
Yeah, so I was mentioning that while you were outside.
Oh, really?
Wait,
Yeah,
refresh
Michael
it.
Pratt and I are going to do it.
Refresh my memory because I know I've heard of this.
Okay, Commander David Fravor is the pilot, him and a female, that first saw the Tic Tac going over the water, and it was literally like going in a pattern. But what was weird was there was a white cross in the water from whatever radiation or disturbance this Tic Tac caused, right? So they had like an AWACS plane way up in the air and said, "Hey, you need to fly down and check out this spot. We think a plane crashed in the water because this white cap or whatever that the Tic Tac created looked like an airplane because it looks like a cross, right?" So Fravor starts flying over towards it. It's not far from them at all. And he says, "Do you see that?" And there's this Tic Tac just bouncing around the water like it's nothing, right? It's 10 feet above the water. It's 39 feet long, same length as a F-18 which they were flying. All of a sudden, this thing sees Fravor, and Fravor starts going in this round pattern, right? It started mimicking him. Okay, it started mimicking every move he was making like it was nothing though. There's no engines. He said there was no sign of any propulsion or anything. So then the craziest thing happens. The thing like takes off in front of him. And you got to remember something. This guy, Kevin Day, that does these cruises out there, he was monitoring these things for 3 full days on whatever sensitive radar they have, right?
Yeah, because he was the radar operator on the Nimitz.
Yeah, there were fleets of these things, right? And they were going from 80,000 feet to like 10 feet above the ocean in a second. All of them were there, just flying up and down. The guys went out in the dock, or the guys went out in the boat and looked at them. So they were actually trying to find one of these things. Then the next pilot that flew up
It's
here.
like, dude, it's because they live below the ocean.
Yeah, I know. I believe that too. So the next guy that went up and flew, he's the one where they're like, "Oh my gosh, look at that!" There's two guys in there saying, "Dude, is it drones? Is it drones?" And they're like, "Look at it, it's turning now." That's the gimbal UFO incident, but it's the same craft. It's a Tic Tac. And yes, I agree with you. What if it's a life form? There's people alive, and they live down below the ocean. There's a hollow earth section, and they're in there, and they're just they're I would call them an interterrestrial. They're so much more advanced than us. It's just unbelievable.
Right. And I don't feel like it's an if thing. It's like, I feel like 100%. Like, there's very few things I could be like, yeah. Like, I would pack that up, put my name on it.
Yeah.
Spit and shake on that. And that's something I 100% would.
All right. So we are doing a trip with Kevin Day on his boat out there when I'm down there. 100%.
Oh my God. I can't wait, dude. We got to go do this.
Oh, yeah.
But I would like to remote view Toy before that happens.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
That would be cool. I've done a little bit of remote viewing, but I'm no good at it.
I could see you actually. I mean, I don't know. I would love to like set some coordinates up for you and just have you have a go at it, because I don't know. I just feel like you would impress yourself.
Let's try it sometime. I used to have like premonition ability that was incredible, and a little bit of psychic ability, but I never was taught properly how to remote view. Let's put it that way, the targeting and all that stuff. I would love to learn how to do it properly, just to see what I could do, because you never know. You just never know, man. You never know. And Warren York was one of the best remote viewers I ever knew. He's one knew Pat Price.
Well, okay, wait. What was his name?
Warren York. Warren York. Yes, he was a genius. He just died of COVID a couple
out
years
for
ago.
a cigarette. I'll be back.
Yeah, go ahead. Her and I'll shoot the shit.
Warren. Okay, so Warren, and you said he passed away?
Got COVID a couple years ago and it killed him. He was like 70, 71. That depressed. That when I found out, because Ed had died, and then I didn't have Ed to talk to. Then Warren died. John Lear died. It's like, man, everybody's gone. New everybody. It's like, now obviously I know Jeremy and Bernie and you and stuff like that, but I'm talking about old school guys that really knew what was going on years ago, that were fun to talk to. You know, because every now and then one of them guys would come out of left field with some story I never heard before, and I'd be like, "Wow, man! I never told anybody that," and it made me feel special, that I was being told this stuff and entrusted.
I think they were seeding you, though.
Yeah, well, Jeremy claims that.
Too. No, like, well, I mean, I'm sure he felt like. Did he feel like they were manipulating you, like psyoping? I mean, like they were. Jeremy, it's like what?
Yeah. At one point, Jeremy thought Ed was trying to manipulate us, but I don't think he was.
I feel like it's a legacy seed. What I'm saying is like sometimes you meet, like you just happen to be this magnet for all these brilliant. Just the Dan Burr story, the freaking John Lear, all these people who had this wisdom, and you're so good at explaining things. And that's why, dude, I'm curling my hair right now. It's like, dude, do a show with Solar. I will I will always come, because I love you and I love how you talk about the information, super relaxed, and the way you present it, and you have and your perspective and outlook on things. So I think it's important, and I don't think it's an accident that all of these great minds, like this amazing remote viewer, that doesn't surprise me, because you attract this level, because they're seeding it, their memory, their work, these stories, and you were supposed to carry them on.
Wow, I never thought about it like that. That makes sense.
100%. And that's why I was always like, dude, Solar, like, you got to get out there, man. Like some of these things that they'll probably be the right time for it, but don't completely overlook it. And the thing is, Jeremy's wonderful, but he doesn't even believe in remote viewing.
I
He'd
know.
rather sign up. I didn't know this about Jeremy, and I was freaking very disheartened and disappointed because I was like, wait a second, this guy is more prone and susceptible to believe that there was a chip in the molar that gave him the information. Like he's more, and that is a problem because the aliens, these crafts, this advanced technology, it is it is tied with higher consciousness, period.
Absolutely.
So if you are not even at the point where you can believe that you can tap in and expand your consciousness and access different advanced data by certain practices you can do that you have inside yourself. Well, hello, guess what? Disclosure ain't coming for you, baby. Like,
right.
You got to believe in that or you're going to shun a lot of this out because it's so advanced and you have to be more open-minded. And I was incredibly disappointed to hear that he doesn't believe that that's possible at all. And I know firsthand of the incredible things I've proved, even on like TV, on a TV show. I've done this, and what I've done time and time again is like it blew my mind. And he's probably someone that would look me in the face and be like, that's luck, or that's and it was people like that prevented my growth and a lot of other people from expanding and growing and ascending. It's like from saying, no, you can't do that. That's not possible. That keeps us stuck. That's just not good. But yeah.
I know that remote viewing is absolutely 100% real. I seen Warren York do it, and it was absolutely amazing when I seen him draw. It was like, dude, man, it was spot on. He was a genius. I introduced him and Jeremy one time. They got in a big argument because Jeremy kept asking him math problems and stuff, and the math problems were ridiculous. Stuff Warren could do in his sleep. And Jeremy and him started arguing. It was just ridiculous. And I really respected Warren because he had classified jobs. And he told me, well, he's dead now. He told me that there is a Air Force base in Texas where a UFO just comes down and lands, right?
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't get in it. They couldn't open it. They were convinced there was occupants on the inside. So you know what they did? It just sat there. They built a giant block wall building around it so it couldn't escape, you know? And he said, after they did that, this door swings open. They go in there, and he said, on the inside of this UFO, you know, it should only been like 20 foot around. He said you couldn't see the end on the inside. It was like an infinite.
He's the one that said that, huh?
Yes, it was like an infinite city. He said he was in it. I saw the base it was at. I saw the building from Google Earth. If it's a true story, it's phenomenal. You know, if it's a true story, it's phenomenal. Do I tend to believe Warren? Hell yeah. Him and I were really good friends. Very good friends. We talked till 5 o'clock in the morning every night.
Oh, you're so lucky, and I just don't think that's any accident, though, Dan. I really, do not believe that's an accident. And I just wish, I like Jeremy. I just wish he would have some type of experience or contact, something that will blow his resistance wide open. You know what I mean? Where he becomes like he just has an aha moment, and because it's good to be critical and very, about things and to ask the deeper questions and do the research. But I feel like he misses a lot. Like he's missing out on a lot if he were to dive a little deeper and be a little bit more open.
Right. His problem is if science has not proven it, to him it's BS.
But that's what's gotten us stuck. Like that was part of and with this amazing researcher he is and his tenacity, it's like, damn, we could really use a mind like that on some more forward thinking revolutionary concepts.
Hey, let me ask you something. Have you ever read any of the Charles Hall and the Tall Whites books?
No.
Oh, you
No.
got to read it. You got to read this here. This guy was in the Air Force in the 60s, and he claims there's tall whites that live at Creech Air Force Base, which used to be called Indian Springs. And it's just really interesting. If you look Charles Hall and the tall whites up, you'll see him give testimony in front of a bunch of people at the IUFOC and tell this story, of these ETs that supposedly live at Dogbone Dry Lake, which is at Creech Air Force Base, which is right where Area 51 is too. So there's been these NASA guys that investigated the thing. I think the one guy's name is Timothy Taylor. Okay.
Mhm.
So Timothy Taylor had this real high clearance. And when they renamed Indian Springs Air Force Base, Creech Air Force Base, Timothy Taylor, who worked for NASA, went to the ribbon cutting ceremony, right, to rename it. He gets there and he's so fascinated by Charles Hall's story. He says this one guy, I don't know what he was, general, whatever he was, he goes, "Hey, would it be a problem if we hopped in one of these vehicles and just drive 1 mile up the road?" And the guy was like, "That wouldn't be a very good idea at all." Like in a real weird tone of voice. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
because there might be extraterrestrials up. Charles Hall claimed they were all over the place once you got to a certain spot. And it's just really interesting. The books are called Millennial Hospitality. It's really interesting to hear this guy talk and read his books.
I gotta check that out. I think did he speak at Contact in the Desert? I was somewhere where they were talking about. He was there or did a presentation or.
I
Yeah, I got
haven't
it.
seen him at Contact in the Desert, but there's like one on from like 8 or 10 years ago that's really good. And then there's another one on where his hair is grayer and stuff, and it's really good. But I thought of you right away. It's a fascinating story. You'll love it. It's just,
Okay.
you can't stop reading the books. And he claims that when you say tall whites, they live 600 years. The first like 200 years of their life, they're just normal height of a human being, so they can pass as a human being, no problem, right? But as they get older and older, and what's up around 500-600 years, they get 7, 8, 9 feet tall. And what's that?
That's fascinating because it's just like Catalina Island with the giants
Yep.
Skeletons that have been found, right? And it's like you get into
Yep.
all the legends of the different archetypes or the King's List of Samaria and how they lived longer, and who are the elongated skull folk, and could that be them?
Well, I don't think these what was dug up in Catalina, they didn't report any elongated skulls, but I like.
Oh yes, they
You
did.
hear of
yeah.
elongated skulls in Catalina?
Yes, they all went missing. It's well documented.
Well, I know they gave the Wrigley bought it. They put it in the museum, but I didn't see it because I did like a deep dive on it and for photos and stuff. And well, I guess they would have scrapped the photo. I didn't see any photos of elongated skulls. And then the talk of you hear this Lumeria. Where was Lumeria? I like to think it was Lumerica.
That's funny.
But talk of like that they were guarding this portal in like Lumerian days.
What's your thoughts on Bigfoot?
I've encountered Sasquatch, so it's real.
Because you're in what part of Canada are you in?
Alberta, so southwest, just one province over from the coast of BC.
Oh, he's in British Columbia. He's in your area. That's where the hot spots are. Radium Springs, British Columbia.
There. Radium
What
Springs.
radium?
Oh yeah, my great uncle, I think it is, used to own the airstrip in Radium. I think my cousin still have it, but yeah, when I encountered the Sasquatch, it was in BC, in Headley, BC, closer to the coastal mountains, and it was terrifying.
Tell me what happened, man. Talk me through this. I want to hear this.
Okay. So shout out to Craig Headley, man. One of my viewers invited me out there with my ex a few years ago, and he's got a property right on the edge of town. And Headley's famous for a gold mine on top of the mountain.
Okay.
So his property goes up from the edge of the town and then up towards the gold mine, and is basically right on the tree line of the forest and the town. So his buildings and his house were like on the one side next to town, and then we were staying in his camper that was like on the other side of his property, where you could tell like the grass was all grown. Like he said, no one had been out in it for like a few years or something. And so we went out to the camper right as the sun was setting, and I'm sitting on the back steps of it, and I'm having a cigarette, and all of a sudden there's something that's like grunting, and then it starts like growling, and I'm like, oh my God, what the F is this? And then all of a sudden Amber's like, Bernie, cut that out. That's not cool. It's not funny. I'm like, yeah, that's not me, dear. At which point I'm like, oh, fuck. And I see something like move right in the shadows of the trees. And I like close the camper door, and I'm like barging it shut with like another table or something. And all of a sudden,
you never see its physical body.
Hold on.
Okay, this is getting good. What do you think, Julia?
I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm actually curling my hair right now. That's why I'm not on camera.
Well, you can curl your hair on. You can curl your hair on camera. We don't care.
If I keep bumping the mic, it's just my elbow with the curling iron.
No, that's okay.
I'm totally into this story.
I am too. I love it. Keep going, Vern.
So
great show. I love it.
We hear this thing kind of like walk off, like you could hear like some rocks going off like up the mountain valley, where it like went towards like the center canyon highest point, and that's where it did and every time I think of it, the howl screech cry makes my hair stand up on the back of my neck every time. It did that call. And then we hear another one make the same howl screech cry from like one mountain valley over back to it. At which point I'm like, oh God, there's more of them. And I start like digging through the camper and found some like fireworks, had like a knife.
Good luck with a knife, but go ahead.
Right, exactly. Like, okay, I'm gonna try to burn it with the firework if it comes in, and then try to like stab it. I don't know, right?
And this is what I mean by the people, these advanced beings when they're on surface are the thoughts that they hear. Like, oh yeah, like
well,
you know what I mean?
Because but it was this thing's like the feeling and intent was like it was territorial and aggressive. Like it was.
How do you know it wasn't a skinwalker? Like, because that. It seems like a lot of people that get very close or have like a intimate
wasn't that intimate
moment with those type the Bigfoots, they speak of a feminine energy that they're that they heard most of them are women. That. Yes, and that they okay, all right, well, I'll let you continue.
And
yeah, keep going, man.
And it was like that there was two of these howl screech cries, one from the one that was close by, and then one that was like a mountain valley over. And then Amber passed out, and I was just like sitting there with the fireworks and the lighter and like, oh my God, what's going on? And I hear it start walking back up, and I was sitting on like right in the kitchen of this trailer, and like there's this 1 foot by 1 foot screen window that I had open, but that there's just like this tiny piece of fabric in between, and something just walks straight up and starts sniffing at this window 8 feet tall, like 8 feet up. And
there's my Harley, by the way.
All I could think of was I had some
that's
cologne,
awesome.
And you need to come and go for a ride on it.
I would love to.
I'll come out there. I'm gonna ride. I'm not joking. I'm riding my Harley out there the whole way.
Yeah, and then we're all gonna go to Catalina.
We'll do it now.
Yeah.
Do you know you can take a wave runner to Catalina? I would love to do that, but I mean, that's a long way to be on that thing. Maybe we Maybe we should just do the boat.
We're taking Kevin Day's boat for sure.
Kevin Day's going to show us some Tic Tacs, and then we're going to jump on
Wait,
the
who
Tic
is this
Tac.
guy?
He
Who's
was
Kevin?
the radar operator of the
Oh,
USS
you guys
Nimitz.
know him?
Yeah, I got his email.
He was the radar operator of the Nimitz, and the Nimitz was the strike group and the aircraft carrier that David Fravor flew off of and filmed the Tic Tac, the infamous video, the gimbal video.
Yep.
Okay.
We're talking about major awesomeness. Okay, it's going to be epic.
All right, line it up, guys. Line it up.
Well, that's funny because Strat and I were talking about that last night.
Wait, doesn't he live like out here too by me?
You know the Cousins brothers. He's with them all the time. So you used to have mutual. Yeah, you used to have a mutual connection there. Okay. Yeah, Michael's in. He's 20 minutes from San Diego.
You know who was there was Dr. J. He used to be like the producer on Art Bell's show, and he was like on a show right before. Do you know him, dude? His energy. He's a total spaz. I love him.
Yeah, I have not heard about him in years, man, because Art Bell's been off the air so long and passed away. Wow,
yeah, dude, he's cool. I liked him.
Yeah, they have him on quite frequently.
Mm-hmm. What'd you say, Bob Burns?
Finishing my story.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh,
man.
sorry. Little derailed. Derailed.
I had to go smoke.
8 feet up. Something is smelling like very heavily, loudly right at this window. And it's like, couldn't have been a bear because the bear would have had to brace itself onto this RV. And there was nothing. It was just like right there. And all I could think of was I had some cologne. So I sprayed cologne through this window. And I just see this figure drop and roll. And then in the morning, went out and you could see, and I wish to God I had taken pictures. I will regret this for the rest of my life that I did not, but there was these footprints from the tree line coming up to the window, and then below the window, the grass was completely flattened by 8 feet, and this 8 foot, you can see where it rolled from where the window was all the way to like this bush that was like 10 feet away, and then they like got up or walked off or something. But yeah, that was my encounter. And one part I forgot to add in, and Amber was like, Bernie, you never smelt so bad in your life that night. And I'm like, that wasn't me. That's a telltale sign of Sasquatch is they stink like reeking flesh. And yeah, it was horrid. And
the roaring I've heard, like you said, it's the most treacherous thing ever. Yeah,
owl cry, like that is what the sounds were between the two of them.
And you had another sighting?
They say that reptilians smell really bad. How crazy would that be if like reptilians, when they go on surface Earth, they have to appear as Bigfoot? Like,
I've never
like that up here.
I've never heard that, but one ET I would run from is a reptilian. That just scares the living daylights out of me. I don't know about a 9 foot tall
Marco Polo. Marco Polo has accounts where he describes them, and he talks about how they have like a claw for a hand, and that they're this tall, and that people would hunt them because their gall is super healing. It has like incredible healing and like life extension for humans. And then I thought, well, how crazy of a thought would that be? Like, what if we once hunted them once upon a time, and then it reversed and tables turned?
Or maybe they're the descendants of dinosaurs.
Or maybe that because they feed off of pineals and things and important things off from humans, that consuming them would be like consuming a lot of the formula within them is probably incredibly rich with all kinds of stuff.
Or maybe David Icke is right, and Prince Charles is a shape-shifting reptilian.
From what I understand, certain blood type, like certain DNA and stuff, that they're able to enter those people like and access them and appear like that, but that it's not exactly them, that it's something that's able to
Like a
enter
demon
and
possession.
operate through them. And then you hear a lot of these celebrities speak of, when I go on stage, I channel her or it, you know, and from another thing. And it's like, is that what's happening here? And I love that information that says, yes, I always say this, that yes, indeed, we were tinkered with.
Yeah.
And people speak of that, and they credit this to Marians that and the Anunnaki that they did this to us. But from what I understand, is that we were tinkered with to make it where something is able to co-pilot us and enter like so. And then you're deep diving into that thought, like, yeah, how is that? How are people able to get possessed? How come? You know, what in what world do you live in where that did the person authorize it? Like, how is that able to happen? And then you got King Solomon, who accredited his powers with enslaving these demons, and he did it with an advanced technology that seems to be he did it through some type of advanced technology, and that he definitely had the wisdom of how to direct them and all of that. But then you Les Wexner, like the guy that owns Victoria's Secret and funded Jeffrey Epstein, he talks about how his demon, well, he calls him like a Dybbuk, right? Or I forget his name for him, but that he said he came into his life earlier in life, but that he didn't see him for a while. Like he didn't have encounters for them, and not until he was like 40. And he came into him and he said, I'm going to teach you how to make your first billion. He's like, listen to me. But that, so the fact that access and so, yeah, I threw a lot out there, but I hope you can follow.
Well, they claim the power of money's evil. It produces evil. Like
it's almost like a trick in itself, right?
Yeah.
It's like everything that's written on it symbolically and hidden wise, like you're already signing up for something.
Absolutely. You're 100% right on that. You could take a $1 bill or a $20 bill and make these curves on. You see the towers falling down. How could they have predicted that? There's so much weird stuff on money. A lot of it is Freemasonry. And just how could they design it if you fold a certain way that shows all these tragedies? You could see the Oklahoma City bombing on the back of, I think, a $50 bill at one point.
Well, what do you guys think about that talk? I mean, just philosophically, man, of the aliens and demons, and what is the difference?
Well, when you mention reptilians, man, my skin jumps when I hear that, because I've read a lot of stories about people that have encountered 9 to 10 foot tall, upright reptilian looking things with giant tails. You know, and it's like, okay, are all these people schizophrenic, or were they on acid that night, or is just, let's just say 2% of them are telling the truth? There's tons of cases out there of this. And
well, that's why I love the ancient accounts. I like the real ancient. I love the ancient accounts. The Marco Polo one of it's not so crazy. I even love the ancient accounts of dragons. Right. Yeah, no one really talks about that.
No, I've never heard of that at all until you just said that. I'll have to look it up. My feeling is that demonic possession could be an ET or an interterrestrial. And I also believe that I've had situations where there had to have been a guardian angel watching over me, or I'd be dead. Have you ever had that happen?
Oh yeah, 100%. I feel it all the time. Oh, I have the quote. It says, Marco Polo, he says, leaving the city of Yaki and traveling 10 days in a westerly direction, you reach the province of Karazhan, which is also the name of the chief city. Here are seen huge serpents 10 paces in length, about 30 feet, and 10 spans, about 8 feet, girths of the body. At the forepart near the head, they have 2 short legs having 3 claws like those of a tiger, with eyes larger than a 4-penny loaf.
Wow.
and very glaring. The jaws are wide enough to swallow a man. The teeth are large and sharp, and their whole appearance is so formidable that neither man nor any kind of animal can approach them without terror.
Wow.
Others are met with of a smaller size, being 8, 6, or 5 paces long, and the following method is used for taking them. In the daytime, by reason of great heat, they lurk in caverns, from whence at night they issue to seek their food, and whatever beast they meet with and can lay hold of, whether tiger, wolf, or any other, they devour. After which they drag themselves towards some lake, some spring of water or river in order to drink. By their motion in this way along the shore and their vast height, they make a deep impression as if a heavy beam had been drawn along the sands. Those whose employment is to hunt them observe the track by which they are most frequently accustomed to go and fix the ground several pieces of wood armed with sharp iron spikes, which they cover with sand in such a manner as not to be perceptible. The flesh also of the animal is sold at a dear rate. Deer rate being thought to have a higher flavor than other kinds of meat, and by all persons it is esteemed a delicacy. And I love this quote: their gall is highly esteemed in medicine. So it goes into all these detail, and that's
when was that written? When was that written?
It was, oh God, was it the 12th century?
Let's say a long time ago, right?
Yeah, right. During the Silk Road era. That's crazy.
What about this part of it? Okay, and this is something that I read about and have thought about, and this is why reptilians really kind of freak me out. There is so many people that disappear just in Alaska every year, right? But in the entire world, the amount of people that go missing without a trace and they never find them is staggering. It's like in the millions, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if they're farming us? And when you see UFOs and stuff, they come down and abduct a person here, abduct a person there.
That's
have farms somewhere where they produce people and stuff like that, and they have a preference for eating a certain person at a certain age and stuff like that.
Oh my gosh, dude, Solar. I remote viewed this. I had this one target. I've talked about it on Bernie's show a few times, but when I entered into it, it was this lab, right? And this being slowly turned around. It was this type of alien, and he turned around. He knew the second I was in there, and then I got flushed with like my hair standing in the back, like when you something like a gun gets pulled out, or there's a gunshot, or something traumatic, and you get that like rush of adrenaline, and you get that fight or flight, like
yes, yeah,
so
it's called overload dump.
I had that feeling, but it took me a while to get into this. So I had thought in my head, I'm not fucking leaving. Like, I'm not leaving. And it said something telepathically back to me, and I'm like, oh shit, it heard me. Like it definitely knows I'm in here. I knew that it knew I entered it. But anyway, so it was very interesting because right near him, so everything's like pristine in this lab, right? And it's underground. And basically there's this guy hunched over, and there's tubes coming out. I couldn't see his face, and it bothered me. I'm like, who is this guy? But so they had blood in an IV like coming. He was being drained like on each arm. The blood was coming out, and then they had this, and it showed vats. There was 3 vats, or it was 2 or 3 vats next to him of like the same person. Like it was like that, like cloning vats. And I was like, why this person? I was like, and then it was like, this person is connected to many and very powerful. So it's like, wait, so they just keep duplicating him to drain his blood? Like, what the hell's going on in here? And then it showed me this advanced thing of how they spin it. It was like very advanced technology of how they spin the blood. And I sketched all of it out, and I was like, damn, it really comes back to like specific DNA. And that's what always brought me to, the 401 gram of DNA is 455 exabytes. Like, there's so much in the blood. There's so much in the DNA that we're not even, like informed on. And so that of what you're discussing is like, for that to be farmed and utilize, like, I don't think that's so crazy, Dan.
Yeah, and also if you think about it, if we're their food source, they certainly don't want us killing each other with nuclear bombs. There's just a lot of stuff going on right now. After the Nimitz thing happened with me, I'm like, man, oh my God, the whole time they've been interterrestrials, not extraterrestrials.
Yes.
They're
Yes.
coming
I
from the
always say
water.
they're beneath us, like
Yeah.
beneath us. And if no one even realizes what this for sure knows what this construct is, because there's people that will sign up for flat earth or round earth, but they'll also sign up for simulation. So it's like, wait a second, if this is a program, bro, you know what I mean? Like it could be like something else as well.
Yeah,
and that would be
we're like their
interchangeable.
cattle. We're like their cattle. You know what I mean? And hell, I know what I wanted to tell you. Cattle mutilations, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not all cattle mutilations can be explained, and I don't care what anybody says. Now, check this out. All right. So, cattle are the best way to study from humans what's in the earth, what's going on, what are they eating, what diseases are they getting. And I forget why that is, but they study cattle. And I was like, wow, man, I think aliens study cattle. You know what I mean? Because
I heard a very interesting term. To throw this out. Sorry for interrupting. It just comes to
no,
me, and then
that's
I'll
fine.
blow past it. But I just
Mhm.
want to get out. Is
Mhm.
that cows are used a lot to the way their tissue is and everything taken and used to like store a clone, like for that skin tissue and the things to.
Oh, interesting.
Yes, I thought that's very interesting.
Well, think about it in this way. What I brought to you, we eat beef. Well, unless you're vegetarian, but cows are vegetarians. So I believe there's several things going on. I believe that whatever these things are that are in the ocean, there's some kind of problem in the ocean that NOAA or the Navy's not telling us about, possibly, that could cause the death of the planet. For instance, if we lose plankton, we all die. That's a fact. There's no coming back from that, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if there's a serious problem that we know about that we won't explain, and these Tic Tacs are probes that they send up to take samples or to inject something into the water? There's probably not ETs on the inside of these Tic Tacs, but I believe they come from either the inner earth or way down in the ocean. And they can have mansions all over the place down there in the bottom of the
Well,
ocean.
that's what I heard. There's like the Greys, like they're basically like drones. Like they don't want to go to surface Earth. Like that's
Yes.
why Dan even talked about like it looked like it pooped its pants. Like, and they're stupid and they walk slow. It's like utilizing them as like the way we would utilize robots in 6 years or whatever. And like you go handle this. We don't want to go up there and hear all those horrible thoughts.
With the way AI is going, and I can't believe how amazing these robots are starting to look. I just can't believe it. It's like they get better and better, man, every like month, right?
Did you see the one of the robot like screwing up the guy's kitchen and making like running into the mirror?
No, I didn't see that one.
Mess.
I did not see that one.
Or something, and it's like you have to give the manufacturer permission for a human to take over at any time, and like you have to supposedly train it. It's absolutely horrible. I got a picture up right here of what I swear is a reptile head, teeth, mouth, eyes, nose, and
I'm looking at it.
It's a cave on top of a mountain that we found close by. That I think there's reptiles possibly in this.
But like
cave.
Marco Polo said, he said they would return. They would come up from the cave.
Scare the heck out of the dog.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Right. All right. Well, we're almost at the 2-hour mark. Final thoughts?
3-Eye Atlas. We should do a 3-Eye Atlas show coming up here soon, man. Maybe the weekend or something. It's supposed to hit we're supposed to be able to see it in the 7th with our own telescopes. So I'm really looking forward to it, man. What's that?
I have one of those telescope.
Yeah. I'm really interested in seeing this thing for myself. I hope it's an alien spaceship with a bunch of UFOs come out. I hope they come in peace, and that's what my hope is. I want proof. I want to see one of these things myself.
Right? That's the dream. And
I want to see Bigfoot too.
Nice.
I want to see Bigfoot. I want to actually see him right in front of me. You know what I mean? Because I absolutely believe in Bigfoot.
It was terrifying. But maybe it was. I don't know.
Well, the grunting and all that weird stuff and the footprints, man. The footprints are what gives it away. If you see these giant footprints, there was a Bigfoot messing around where you were camping at, man. I dated a Bigfoot one time. Okay, a female Bigfoot. No, I'm just kidding. But,
you live in Alaska, right?
What's that?
I said you are up in Alaska, right? So
no, not right now. I'm in Pennsylvania, man.
Oh, okay. Well, then you're definitely coming out to Cali. That makes more sense. I was like, holy shit, you're riding down on your bike right now? Okay.
No. They spotted a Bigfoot near my house with a black and white flannel shirt on, and then they found out it was me. So that's the only Bigfoot incident I've had. Walking through my own neighborhood, someone called and said there's a Sasquatch with a flannel shirt on. Man, I'm serious. That really happened. So that's the closest Sasquatch sighting I've had myself. What about you there, Julia?
I've never encountered Bigfoot.
You live in California, girl. You need to go up in the hiking areas. You'll see it. People see them all over the place in California. It's crazy.
Wait, so they take two trees and make like an X? That I thought to be significant.
Oh yes. Not only do they make an X out of it, they'll take a tree that's like, I don't know, that would weigh thousands of pounds, right? A human can't do this, on the side of a mountain, and they'll flip it over. So the roots are sticking straight up at the top. Mm-hmm. And then the other part of the top of the tree is like 4 or 5 feet down in the damn ground.
I've actually seen
do that. Yeah, well,
little jokesters, little pranksters.
Yeah, but even if you're pranksters, right, and you have 20 guys trying to do this.
Oh no, I'm just saying they're funny. I don't know, but maybe that's significant on seating. But maybe it's significant on travel, though, of like, oh God, I'm sure when you walk into certain, imagine just being able to pop in and out of places all around the world, and like, of maybe showing the X, like, oh, here's the spot.
Well, I think the X means don't go past here. It's like a gate. Don't come into our area.
I know. Is it a communication for other people, like a warning, or is it a marking? But I'd love to know what that truly is for.
Well, think about how pissed that Bigfoot was when he picked that tree out of the ground and then stuck it upside down. He sure as hell wasn't putting that there to say, hey, come on up here. So you know what I mean?
That's a good point. Right? I love how he thinks. That's a good point.
Here's what I think went through his head. I think he was like, there's damn humans. I got the shits of them lighting fires down there, stealing our berries, all this stuff. So he gets all pissed off because he doesn't have a cell phone or nothing to keep up on the Kardashians. So he rips the tree out in anger and stuffs it upside down. It's like, yes, this will keep them bastards out of here. That's where I'm at with it.
All right, I'm sorry I gotta cut it off, but I gotta end it just so we get the AI clip feature, so we could spam ourselves all over the internet. But feel free to stay around for a minute afterwards to talk if you guys want.
Yeah. All right, man. That was a good show.
Absolutely. We will do it again.
You crazy mother. Yeah.
It's just BurnEye. BurnEye just like that.